This would the charge for you, there are actually two. Has the insurance charge been addressed yet?
It's been uploaded. I was just going to make sure that it was dismissed. Yeah, it has been dismissed.
Okay, so the insurance charge has now been dismissed because you've provided the proof of insurance. So that leaves just one charge, which is speeding 35 in a 20-mile-per-hour zone. That's a 4-point charge. The prosecutors will reduce that to either a 2-point charge if you wanted to do that with a fine only, or to a 1-point charge if you were willing to take an online traffic class. You also could speak with the prosecutors if you'd like to discuss with them.
Yeah, I'll chat.
All right, so if you'll put your name on the list, then they'll be with you in a few minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning, Mr. Saunders. Sir, the charge for you is speeding 66 miles per hour in a posted 45-mile-per-hour zone. That's a 6-point charge. There's an option to reduce that to 4 points with just a fine, or to 3 points with the level 1 traffic class. What would you like to do this morning?
Could I speak with the prosecutor?
You can, yep. And if you'll put your name on the list, they'll be with you in just a bit. So there's one charge for you. It's a charge of speeding 85 miles per hour in a posted 60-mile-per-hour zone. There's an option to reduce that to a 4-point charge with just a fine, or to a 3-point charge if you were willing to take the online traffic class. And of course, if you wanted to get on the list to talk to the prosecutors, you could do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the traffic class.
You want to do the 3-point with the class? All right. So the charge will be reduced. It'll be called driving too fast for conditions. That's what makes it a 3-point infraction. That's a violation of section 7459 of the Boulder Revised Code. This allegedly occurred at US Highway 36, just west of Table Mesa Drive on July 11th of 2025. How do you plead to that charge? I'll accept that guilty plea. Take a look at the notes from the officer. Nothing aggravating in the notes. And then we'll also look at your driving record. Anything else that you'd like to share with me?
No, sir.
Okay. And it's been 5 years since you've had a ticket, so a pretty good record coming in. Our record here will reflect that you've pled guilty to the 3-point charge. The 6-point charge has been dismissed because you're taking the class and you have a decent record coming in. I'm going to reduce the fine to $110. There are $30 in court costs. You have $140 to pay the court, and then you'll have the class. Any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, if you go out front, they'll be with you in a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm not sure if I said your first name correctly.
You did.
Okay, good. Mr. Drake, and is your mom here with you? It looks like we have your mom. Great. We have one charge for you. It's a charge of failing to avoid interfering with the vehicle ahead. That's a 4-point charge. There's an option to reduce that from 4 points to 2 points, or from 4 points to 1 point if you were willing to take the Alive at 25 class.
I'll take the class.
Want to do the Alive at 25 class? Okay, and that's a 1-point charge. Mom, is that okay with you for him to accept that plea? She's nodding her head yes. All right, so let's go ahead and take the plea to the 1-point charge, which will be called driving with a defective headlamp, a violation of section 732 of the Boulder Revised Code, occurring on July 9th of 2025 at Valmont and Foothills. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
I'll accept that guilty plea. We'll take a quick look at the report if we have it in your driving record. Anything else that you'd like me to know before I set the fine?
No, Your Honor.
Hold on, let me just make sure that I pulled up the correct report.
Well, that's okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, doesn't look like anybody had to go to the hospital, so that's good. May have been some minor pain, but nothing that required significant medical attention. And this looks like it's your first ticket, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a positive factor as well. All right, our record here will reflect that you've pled guilty to a 1-point charge. We're going to have you complete the Alive at 25 class. The Alive at 25 class is geared towards people your age, and that's why I select that for individuals of your age who have been in an accident. It's offered, 2 different types are offered. You can do it's an online version, but it's actually led by an instructor. And I point that out because it's not self-paced. You actually participate in an online class, or you can go in person. If you're going to do the online version, make sure you sign up enough in advance for them to mail you materials, because they actually mail you booklets that you have to look at. So don't sign up on Tuesday thinking you'll be able to be ready for the class on Friday, because you won't have the materials that you need. And that's only if you choose the online version. And I would encourage you to get started signing up quickly, because they're booked. The Alive at 25 class has a lot of people in it, so it takes a couple of months to get that class completed sometimes. So we're going to give you a court date that's a couple of months out, so that you have sufficient time to get that class certificate back to us, and then you wouldn't have to come back as long as we have the certificate back from you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. As far as the fine goes, because that class is a little more expensive than the one that I mentioned that was $60, I think it's $90 for the Aliva 25 class. I don't want your people like you to be punished simply because I want you to complete the Aliva 25. So I make my fine lower. And so in this case, an accident case would normally be 110 or 120, even with a good record. I'm going to make your fine $80 and $30 in court costs. So you'll have 110 to pay the court. Are you able to do that today?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to send you out front. They're going to collect the payment. They're going to give you information about Aliva 25. It'll be your job to contact that agency, get signed up for the class, get the certificate, and then get that certificate emailed to us before the court date that we set.
Okay.
All right, right out front then. Thank you for appearing.
Your Honor.
And Mr. Altenberg's back in the courtroom. Go ahead, Mr. Altenberg.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to call Mr. McCray, please, who's appearing in person.
All right, Mr. McCray, if you'll come forward again. And whenever you're ready, Mr. Altenberg.
Yes, Your Honor. I had the opportunity to speak to Mr. McCray and go over the citation in question. It's my understanding that Mr. McCray intends to accept a plea deal involving a continuance so he can complete a level 2 course, Your Honor. And as a result of the completion of level 2 course, he would be getting a 5-point reduction from the 6-point offense of speeding 20 to 39 miles per hour over the limit to the 1-point offense of defective headlighting. It's my understanding that we do also intend to request that the $110 for the level 2 course be factored in compliance fees assessed at a later date. And we will be filing this plea deal later today, Your Honor, in addition to providing Mr. McCray with the information necessary to take the course as well later today.
Great, thank you for all of that, Mr. Altenberg. Okay, so Mr. McCray, the next step for you is actually just to send you out front. They're going to give you a court date. Mr. Altenberg will give you his contact information. When you complete that level 2 class, you're going to want to email that certificate to Mr. Altenberg. He will upload it into the system, and that will make sure that he's aware that you've met the requirements for his plea offer. And then when you come back to court, you can accept the disposition to reduce it from the 6-point charge to the 1-point charge. I'll put a note in here that we're expected to consider the expense that you've incurred there in connection with setting the fine.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
No, sir.
I'm going to give you the option of appearing in person or by Zoom video for your next court date. Once someone's been to court once on a traffic case, I feel comfortable that they could appear by Zoom for the next date. So it'll be your choice, but I'll let staff know. And if you'll just make your way out front, they'll get you
Do
there.
I go back to the same
It's
counter?
the same place you went to. That's exactly right.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
And whenever you're ready, Ms. Reifenberg.
And Your Honor, I spoke to Ms. Oriamuna and her mother. It is my understanding that they would like to accept the 3-point reduction with the level 1 driving class to a 0-point charge. We would also ask the court to take into account the cost of the driving class when assessing those fines, as well as difficult financial circumstances.
Okay, thank you for that. And I require that a person that is in an accident when they're under 25 to complete the Aliva 25 class. That's a $90 expense for the class, probably 89, I think, was what they charged. So I just want you to be aware of that. I will take it into account in setting your fine and other circumstances if you want to share those with me, but wanted you to be aware of that before I accepted the plea bargain to the 0-point charge.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well,
Did you have a question before we start? Or let me go ahead and accept the plea. It'll be to a 0-point charge. The good news is this does not go on your driving record. It just stays here with our court. The 0-point charge will be called driving without wearing a seatbelt. That's not what you did, but that's how the points get reduced. That allegedly occurred on July 12th of 2025 at University and Broadway. How do you plead to that 0-point charge? I'll accept the guilty plea. I'm going to take a look at the officer's notes here. And I'll also look at the police report and your driving history. Okay, so the sun glare prevented you from being able to see, is that right?
well, yeah, it was like a Saturday, it was really bright, and the car was gray, so it was the same color as Broadway. So it kind of like, I don't know. But it all happened so fast, and it was just like it was a really good lesson, and I'm almost like grateful for the experience because no one got hurt, but I was still able to learn like a lot from it.
Okay, and that's the hope, is that people can walk away, number one, and you learn enough as a young driver that you're super cautious going forward. It's the one thing that can change all of our lives, is a traffic accident.
It changed so much
Yeah.
about driving.
Yeah, okay. Appreciate you sharing that. And then what I'm gonna do is to take into account your driving record and the fact that you're spending the $90 on the class and setting the fine. Looks like it's your first ticket as well. So those are all positives. So our record here will reflect that you've pled guilty to the 0-point charge. The 3-point charge is being dismissed. Normally in an accident-related case, my fine is $150. I am going to take into account the expense of the class and for the alive at 25. And also because you spoke to the prosecutor a little bit about financial circumstances. So I'm going to make my fine $70 and then there are $30 in court costs. So that leaves you with $100 to pay. Are you able to pay that today?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send you out front. Now, if your mom pays, I want you to figure out a way to pay her back. Maybe it's extra work around the house.
I'm working it off.
Great, that's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'll send you out front. They'll collect the payment, give you information about the class and then get you on your way. All right, thank you. I didn't realize that we had.
Well, we just let him know in case he needed to reschedule, but he informed us that he's good to come
Okay.
and speak now with you.
Good morning, sir. All right, so I understand you speak English well enough to move through this process? Good, okay. And I'm fine with that in a traffic case. Sir, the charge for you is improper operation of a vehicle on the approach of an emergency vehicle, which means that you didn't move to a separate lane. That's the allegation, is that you didn't move to the lane away from the police department when the officer was on their side of the road. There's a couple of options for you with respect to that charge. One would be to reduce it from 4 points to 2 points, and there would just be a fine. The other option would be to reduce it from 4 points to 1 point, and if you were willing to take an online traffic class. And that class is offered in both English and Spanish, so whichever you would prefer if you chose that option. What would you like to do?
Not guilty.
You're guilty to the 2 point or to the,
Not guilty.
I'm sorry?
I'm guilty.
You want to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right. And do you want the 2 point with just a fine, or do you want to take the class and have another point reduction?
Because I don't have no time.
All right, so just a 2 point?
Yes.
All right, let me go ahead and accept the plea. It is to a charge of driving with a defective vehicle. That's a 2 point charge, allegedly occurring at US Highway 36 and Table Mesa Drive on July 11th of 2025. How do you plead to that charge, sir?
Guilty.
I'll accept that guilty plea. Anything that you'd like to share with me about the case, Mr. Quezada Caro? Okay. Nothing aggravating in the report. And it's been about 6 years since you've had your the last ticket, so it's a pretty good record coming in. So our record will reflect that you pled guilty to the 2 point charge. I'm going to impose a $95 fine, and there are $30 in court costs, so the total is $125. Are you able to pay that today?
Yes.
All right, I'll send you right out front to the clerks to the right. They'll collect the payment and get you on your way, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Sure, the charge for you is careless driving, which is a 4 point charge. The prosecutors offered to reduce that either to a 2 point charge or a 1 point charge with the traffic class.
I just take the 2 point charge with a fine.
All right, and that's fine with me. The charge will be changed. It'll be called driving with a defective vehicle. That's what makes it a 2 point charge. That's a violation of section 732 of the Boulder Revised Code. This allegedly occurred on July 10th of 2025 at the 1900 block of Table Mesa Drive. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
I'll accept that guilty plea. I'll take a look at the notes here from the officer. Nothing aggravating in the notes.
I didn't see it. Do you want me to check the right number?
If you think you can do it quickly, and if not, it's okay. We can proceed without it. I'm just going to pause for a moment, see if Sabrina can check the database and see if there's an accident report in the file.
I don't see one, sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to treat it as I'll give the benefit to you that is a modest collision. Since I don't have anything from the officer in the notes, give you the best outcome I can give you based on that.
Yeah, there was no collision here.
Oh, okay. Not even a collision?
No, it was just speeding.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why we don't have an accident report. I think wrote it as careless driving. Normally we see those with accidents. Okay, so that makes a difference to me. So our record's going to reflect that that 4 point charge has been reduced to a 2 point charge. Based on the very good driving record that you have, I'm going to set the fine here at $90. There are $30 in court costs. leaves you with $120 balance to pay. Are you able to pay that today?
I am.
All right, I'll send you right out front. They'll collect that.
Thank you, Judge.
Anyway. You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
And sir, the charge for you is also a photo enforcement charge. The allegation is that you failed to obey a red signal at Baseline Road and 27th Way on July 13th of 2025. How would you like to proceed with that case?
Could I talk with the prosecutor, please?
You can. If you'll just put your name on the list there, they'll be with you. And maybe a little bit of wait, but we do have them working as quickly as they can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning, Mr. Kramus. Sir, the charges for you are speeding 79 miles per hour in a posted 60-mile-per-hour zone. That's a 4-point charge. And then there's a second charge of having defective equipment, which is a 2-point charge. That may have been, let me just look at the notes. Sometimes that's for a windshield.
Yeah, it was for window tints.
So with window tints, our prosecutors have indicated if you've changed the tint and you have proof of that, they'll dismiss that one outright.
Okay, I have photos of the removed tints on my phone here.
Why don't you email those photos to Maria?
Okay.
She'll upload them. And so go ahead and do that right now. And then as soon as she has that, I'll recall your case because then you'll be eligible for an offer to reduce the other charge. So why don't you go ahead, you can go ahead and sit down and just email that to her real briefly. And I'll recall you as soon as she has that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.